in Apple Photos, now you can clean up, and it's actually pretty good. You have a great photo of someone, and then there's a piece of litter on the background. I'm like, let's remove that. If you want to go top of the page and then bottom of the page, use function and the arrow on your computer on the bottom right. So function arrow will go on top and the opposite. Sometimes I get confused with both, but when I have photos and I have to go back instead of scrolling up, I just do that.
Hello, today I have the pleasure to introduce Isabelle Dervaux. Isabelle is a family photo curator who teaches her clients how to organize photos in Apple Photos, reduce visual clutter, and think like a pro while shooting. She guides them through selecting their most meaningful photos and shapes them into a narrative that uniquely tells their family's story. Her approach and insightful observations of photo taking and sharing habits have led to interviews and profiles in Real Simple, The Wall Street Journal, The New Yorker, The Times of London, and the BBC. Isabelle is originally from Valenciennes, France, and now lives in New York City with her American husband. Isabelle, welcome to the show.
Hello, bonjour.
It's funny because we've been speaking in French in the pre-show and the pre-interview, and now we switch to English.
Let's do it.
So let's dive into the main topic of the show. What is your current Mac setup?
So right now I'm sitting in front of my M1 MacBook. And what else do you want to know? I have an iPhone 15. Don't need to have an iPhone 16, but that's good enough.
And yeah, I noticed you're using your main laptop screen. Do you ever plug your MacBook to an external monitor?
I thought about this while doing Zoom call, and sometimes it's best to have both, but sometimes it's confusing. So there is a monitor that my husband is not using, and maybe I should plug it in and try it to maybe have more possibilities, but I need to try it.
Yeah, but how often do you actually use it in a mobile way? So do you often travel with the MacBook, or?
I take my MacBook sometimes to clients, so but mostly at home I just leave it here. This MacBook is actually heavy, and when I changed, I'm like, it's a little bit bigger, but it's heavy in my backpack. And I'm like, and I use my phone now. I have a bigger phone, and I use my phone for stuff. Like I would use Note on my phone. The Note will be on my computer, and it kind of works well.
Yeah, talking about, this is nice that when we are fully in the Apple ecosystem, we can open apps almost from any device, and then it synchronizes pretty well. So on your Mac, which applications do you use the most for your business?
Okay, so I put my dock on the right side, and I just go and I'm looking at now. So I have, of course, finders on top, my calendar. So photos, I use it all the time. So I'm kind of putting on top. Actually, it's just below Safari. Right now I'm on Chrome, but I use a non-Apple app, which is Grammarly. For some reason, I use Grammarly for anything and everything. And now they have Grammarly desktop, which I like because I use everything Keynote a lot to do presentations. I use Pages a lot and Notes, and it will just go right and fix everything in my notes. I love it. So before it was just on the web, and it was really annoying. So that I'm happy about it. And then that's pretty much the best app that I'm using right now.
So do you have a paid Grammarly account?
I do. I'm sure there is a level up because now they have more with artificial intelligence, and I have not really, they always get email upgrade, but I'm happy with what I have now.
Yeah, I tried using the native Grammarly app, but then I stopped using it because it was a bit too annoying, and I'm still on the free plan. So I'm always frustrated because it reminds me that I need to wait one day more before I can use it. But yeah, it's Grammarly for me is the OG AI grammar correction and spelling correction before AI was a thing.
Right. I mean, I remember I used on social media and I always forget S's. I always make mistakes or switch my adverbs, not put it. I love it now, but sometimes it's almost too much. I'm like, no, got it. I'm not accepting some changes. I was like, you have to be careful, right?
Yeah. That's maybe one thing, a small complaint that I have with Grammarly. It doesn't seem to learn my style of writing. It always wants to to rewrite.
Yes, and the dictionary, it doesn't work. Like I want to say smart albums, for example, or when I teach people Apple Photos, Mac, I use a lot of smart album, and they always say brilliant album, and that just drives me crazy. Right.
Yes. Since we're talking already a little bit about AI, with this new season now, I have a new segment, the AI segment. So, which AI systems or applications or web services are you using now, actually in your business?
Okay. So I'm about to give a big rant, but I'm gonna stop it now. So I have Perplexity on my tab. I have not really played with it. I have played with ChatGPT. Also, I love it to come up with title or things that are a little bit catchy, like for a class. And I usually have get good choices for that. I would not use it to create content because that's really horrible. Same way how to create images. I was an illustrator for 30 years and that is terrible. So, and then I could rant about taking copyright away from people and just using everything freely. That is not okay. But let's go back to how I use it. I use it again to rewrite, something that I've written and I need a little bit change of tone, maybe more friendly. Sometime an Instagram post, it will put like all these emojis, like I would never think about. That's kind of fun. I don't use it that much because I always have this in my mind that AI costs a lot of in energy and in water. And I'm like, if everybody uses AI, that's terrible. So I'm like, I always hesitant. So I use it a little bit. I used it also for in Apple Photos. Now you can clean up, and it's actually pretty good. You have a great photo of someone, and then there's a piece of litter on the background. I'm like, let's remove that. But I wouldn't do it for big things. Let's go to Lightroom for that.
Yeah. So that would have been my next question. How much of the Apple Intelligence features are you using, right? Whether it's on your Mac or on your phone, knowing that it's only on the latest version of the operating systems. And for me in Europe, it actually just arrived with the .4 version for whether it's iOS 18.4 or macOS 15.4. Finally, we have in Europe, and I think it's the language needs to be French for France or French Belgium. I haven't tested the French Luxembourg, right? I don't know because I haven't tested that yet. And so, but let's go back. So, because you have had Apple Intelligence features for a while now.
Right. So I tried it. I mean, you can disable it if it doesn't work for you. I have it on. Siri is much better. Then you have, it works for the email on your phone. It puts a little picture. If it's your friend, then you have the picture, we'll put the picture so you see more. It will summarize. So sometimes it gets it wrong, of course, but it's summarized, and sometimes it prompts you, for example, in text, it prompts you to email, a little bit like Meta would do on Instagram, like kind of force you. You just answer whatever you want, but you make an appointment, you'd say what time is better, and then it's already, 3 o'clock is great. And then you click on it. So you can save time this way. What else does it do? You could do, people have fun because you could do you do this once and then you don't do it anymore, but you would do an emoji, multiple emoji, and you create your own. So it can be fun, but it could be really strange. Like there's no jam emoji, so I made my jam emoji, for example. Confiture. You can also do a picture. You take your picture, it goes to find your picture, and then it will make a new kind of AI version on you. So people have fun. I did all my family, and then it kind of stops. So Apple Intelligence is great. It's kind of limited, but if it cannot answer your Siri request, it will go and have a ChatGPT answer. That's the way it would work here. So I have not really used it. At first, I tried it, I played with it, but I have not really used it recently.
And so for ChatGPT, I understood that Apple Intelligence can use ChatGPT like a free account, but you could also configure your own account. What did you do on that front?
I have an account and it just goes and take up the answer, but it's been a while since I have done it. So it will tell you it's ChatGPT, and then it will go and then you get the answer.
Yeah, so just for sake of being clear, we are recording this before the 2025 WWDC, so Worldwide Developer Conference. So at the moment, I have no idea what new Apple Intelligence features will be released in iOS 19 and macOS 16. And it's possible that this episode airs after that. So we'll see at that time.
We'll see. I mean, it always takes a little while before everybody gets, the newest feature, and not everybody has an iPhone 15, 16, so, but I think it's not a deal breaker if you don't have Apple Intelligence on your phone. I think it's okay to live without it.
And so, do you have a paid ChatGPT account or a free one?
I have a free one.
Okay. What's stopping you, or what's the reason why you haven't made the leap yet towards a paid account?
Interesting question. I'm not sure, because I feel like I don't use it enough. And I think I maybe need to spend more time to train it to do exactly the way I want. But really, I don't really have the need for it, because I would not want to create content, because it just needs to be my voice if I have to write something. And Grammarly is enough for me to do what I really need, is to construct sentences in not perfect English, but in a way that works better. I'm not sure how I would use it. I've got to think about this.
Yeah, so I've had a paid account, a plus account, not the Pro, but the Plus, which is the middle tier. And what I've been using it more and more, or let's say the feature that makes me stay and continue paying for it, is the custom GPT features and also the project feature. But the custom GPT, have you heard about custom GPTs?
No, why don't you tell me about it, because I don't know about it.
A custom GPT is a kind of a personalized assistant. You can create a personalized assistant with a custom instruction, so a special instruction that tells that GPT how to behave, but you also can give it reference material, so documents. It could be images, it could be PDFs, it could be text files. And you can toggle on or off certain capabilities or actions, like the ability to generate images, the ability to write code, the ability to search the web. And so the idea of creating a GPT, so I think the first GPT that I created was for content creation, so for my newsletter. And basically, I had a custom instruction that was, please write according to the following tone of voice and style. And I fed it, I don't know, 2 years worth of me writing my newsletter without AI, so before AI. So it knows exactly how I write my newsletter and the different kind of topics that I cover, and when I cover topics, the way I write. And I usually write with bulleted list and more casual, let's say, tone of voice. And I must say, so when I started using that assistant, I was curating articles, asking another GPT to just summarize the article. So go to the web, go to the article, summarize the article. So it was not my voice at all. But then I would take these 3-4 paragraphs of AI generated summaries, feed it to my GPT, and it would rewrite it in my voice.
According to the way you write. That's cool.
And I almost never touched. Maybe I switched a few words or I changed a little bit the phrasing, but very little. It was very close to the way I would write.
So that saved you time, and then that saved you the writing.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so when I started, I was doing both the French, I was writing in English and then translating into French. And it would take me 5 hours to make the news, to make both languages.
Right.
And then I realized too much time. I stopped doing the French translation and I just gave a Google Translate URL to my French list because I saved an hour, right? I went from 5 hours to 4 hours just by saying, okay, I will not do the French version. I will just do the English version. But then I started using ChatGPT. And with ChatGPT for both rewriting in my voice and translating the full thing, it took me in average 3.5 hours. So I was, it was faster to do 2 languages than just 1 language without ChatGPT.
Wow. Okay.
And recently, I've started using it more for strategic thinking. And so basically, I've discovered the concept of co-CEO. So in the artificial intelligence show, it's the main host is Paul Rutzer. He has a podcast that's very, very popular. And basically, he had this concept of a co-CEO, so a personalized GPT that act as like an assistant to the CEO. And so what I did is I build a co-CEO builder. So I build a GPT to help me prepare that thing, and then I have my co-CEO with whom I can just brainstorm, strategize. And now at the moment, my co-CEO is helping me expand to the US to offer remote training services. And we've already selected a few US states that would be, from a tax perspective, the best states to start with in the US.
I see. Wow.
And today, a bit earlier, our recording, I created a co-CFO, so financial officer, and a co-CMO, marketing officer, chief marketing officer. And something that I discovered last week is when you have those GPTs and you are in a conversation thread in ChatGPT, so you can start a conversation with ChatGPT, but a normal conversation, right? But you can type the symbol and then the name of your GPT, and suddenly whatever context in that conversation you had, that GPT has the same context. You can, and so I was like asking my CEO and then asking my CFO, and then
So you have a three-way
exactly,
conversation.
I could have a three-way conversation
Wow.
with my co-CEO and my co-CFO about a document that was generated with deep research, which doesn't use any GPT at all. And I was like,
Well, that's
yeah,
impressive.
I was like, wow. And yeah, and actually I'm thinking of expanding that concept and marketing that concept now, because I have created a GPT builder, a C-suite builder, and my builder is capable of creating the CEO, CTO, CFO, CMO, the CIO, the CISO. It can create
the C-suite,
15.
right?
It can create 15 positions of the C-suite of a company.
You're getting very big.
And yeah, so yeah, that
Amazing.
for me, that today, that's the main reason I continue paying for ChatGPT. And in some instances, I'm even thinking of going to the Pro at one point, because I realized that they are capping how much I can use the most powerful model, which is at the time of recording 4.5. So ChatGPT 4.5, I have only maybe 10 requests, 10 prompts per day or something like that. And yeah.
Yeah, you should go for it and try it.
Yeah. Very good. So let's go to the next segment of the show, which is the haha moment. So what tip or trick did you discover recently on your Mac that you wished you had known before?
Okay, so I don't know why I never use really much the function keys. So there's one simple one. If you want to go top of the page and then bottom of the page, use function and the arrow on your computer on the bottom right. So arrow, function arrow will go on top and the opposite. Sometimes I get confused with both, but when I have photos and I have to go back instead of scrolling up, I just do that, or on top of a long document, and I never used it. I give my clients like one sheet of like keyword, just do this for Apple Photos, you'll be so much faster. They love it, but you have to spend a lot of time learning and things like this, just like, wow. And in Note, also, if you want a second one, in Note, I realized you could do heading and subheadings, and then you could collapse parts of the text. This I love too. This is new. I got this from YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not yet on Sequoia, so I don't have yet the collapsible sections, but the keyboard shortcut. So for the title is Shift Command T for title. The heading one is Shift Command H. And
that's right.
The subheading is Shift Command J. So I'm using always those three keyboard shortcuts to quickly create, right, the headers and the heading and subheadings. But
because
go ahead.
Sorry. It helps on your thinking, because you have a sheet and you say what's important and what's on top of this, and it helps you to organize that page, right, of information.
Yeah, I'm using Notes. I'm using Notes for all my standard operating procedures. So it's really everything I do in my business or for the podcast. Everything is documented, every step, and so I use that a lot. These headings, subheadings. And actually, I use the checklists, the built-in checklist of Apple Notes.
Oh, I love that. With the little bubbles?
Yes, but immediately I turned off the thing where it reorders the thing, right? So when something is completed, by default, it pushes it down.
You can turn. I didn't realize you could
off.
Turn it off.
It was pissing me off, that thing. I was like, no.
How do you do that? Tell the listeners, because this is something I didn't know.
Yeah, you have to go to simply to the settings. So command comma to access the settings of notes.
Of notes.
And there is an option that says automatically sort ticked items. You turn that off.
I see. I didn't know you could do that. I love it.
And another keyboard shortcut that I really love is because of those checklist items, right? So when I do I edit the podcast or I publish the podcast, I stop looking at the procedure, and I stop looking. They are part of the process that now I know exactly what to do. I don't need to look at the SOP. So I will do maybe 10 tasks, 10 of the checklists. And so to check them off in one go, you select them with the mouse and you do Shift Command U. And Shift Command U ticks them on or off all at once. So because
I feel I 3 commands, I think it's hard for people to have, like, if you add a shift for option. So usually I teach command anything, and then later we'll go to 3 command, because then your brain gets a little it's a little bit harder. But once you get used to 2, then you move to 3.
Yeah, but in Notes, in Notes, most of the keyboard shortcuts use Shift command, actually.
You're right. Yes.
Very good. So we're almost at the end of the show. If you were in charge of the Mac division at Apple, what would be your first priority, whether it's hardware or software?
Okay, so I'm going to go to Photos. And I wish that they had one automatic album on your phone or on your computer that finds all the blurry photos, because this is I think it should be easy, because it used to be called Gemini, now it's called Clean My Phone, and there is one automatic album that finds all the blurry photos. And sometimes people have pocket photos of things, and in 5 minutes you just go and click, and it's great, because nobody has time to go 5 years ago and delete all the blurry photos. But I think this is brilliant, and it should be integrated in the Apple photo apps, because of course you have blurry photos. Yes, one blurry photo could be extraordinary, yes, but in general they just happen. So that is something I would like to have. I mean, now with iOS 18 you have an automatic album for receipts, documents, illustrations. There's another one I forgot, but that I love, and nicely integrated under utilities. So I think this is something easy that they could put in. So that's one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I never thought about that. I'm already happy now with iOS 18 that I can filter out the screenshots, because
I love it. Yes,
I'm doing so many of those that it's always like when I try to show pictures to my family and we have to scroll through dozens of screenshots. That's not good.
Exactly. So that shortens, and it's so much nicer to look at your photos. And if you want to go to screenshot, you just put a pin album, pin collection, or you could just find in media types. And now you can move the media type or utilities. You could move it. That's just brand new, and I love it. So I put screenshot right on top.
What do you mean? Because, or maybe explain to the listeners or to me, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so in iOS 18, like it's instead of 4 tabs, now you have one long tab with everything. And then you could custom and reorder whatever comes up on the feed, right? On the main view. So all the way on the bottom, you could remove. If you're happy with your wallpaper and then you don't want to change, you don't need all the suggestions. So you go all the way on the bottom, and then you custom and reorder, right? You just tick off what you don't want to see. So it kind of like shortens what you want to see. You could also change your pin collection, and I would say make it personal. Just use specific album that you want to have access right there. So you want the 3 pin collection that comes up, right? Things that you are always looking for in your albums. And then now you could, I think this is the latest update. If you go to utilities, you could move anything that you want on top. So when you turn on your phone, you see in utilities, whatever you want to see in the 3 or 4 lines, it's what you want to see. So you have to go to top right and press edit, and then you just move it. So I found it is brilliant. It's great. But most people, they just use the default and they never really spend time to change and reorder and personalize. So that will be my tip, because most people have been upset with this new redesigned version. But if you spend a little time on it to just do it the way you want, it's totally fine.
Yeah, I will do that after the recording, because it's my iPhone that is recording the video version. So
I see. So you can see it.
I want to look at it, but I'm gonna wait for the end of the recording. But yeah, definitely, I'm gonna look at that. Yeah.
Spend 5 minutes, reorder the way you want it, and you'll be fine.
Very good. Thank you very much. That's super helpful. So yeah, thank you, Isabelle, for coming on the show. Where can people find you online?
Thank you, Damien, for having me. I post on Instagram and I write a little bit more on LinkedIn. That's where you could find me. And then there's my website, IsabelleDervaux.com.
So I will, we'll put a link in the show notes to all your social profiles and also to your website. So again, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Damien. It was fun. And I will make sure that I get your newsletter, because I don't have your newsletter. So that is going to be my next step.
Very good. And so if, like Isabelle, you would like to share how you are using your Mac to run your solopreneur business, it's simple. Just visit macpreneur.com/apply. If you are already on Podmatch, just click on the button and you will land on the show profile. Otherwise, fill the application form and I will get back to you within a few days. Once again, it's macpreneur.com/apply. In the comments below, please share your main takeaway from this episode. And if not done yet, please subscribe to my channel so you will get more helpful tips on how to run your business on your Mac. And until next time, I'm Damien Schreurs, wishing you a great day.
Thank you for watching the Macpreneur podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave a comment and share it with a friend right now.